Hey, what's up? It's MattRadiant. If you're looking to blow up on YouTube this year or learn anything from me, someone who has gained 100,000 subscribers in just a few months, this video is going to be me talking about pretty much everything I've learned and how you guys can grow or blow up as a small creator on YouTube. Enjoy the video. Last year on my 1-year anniversary of making YouTube videos, I made a 1-year progress check, and I pretty much went over what it takes to start making videos, how to get growth and success as a small creator on YouTube, and how to somewhat build a foundation on the platform. This year and every year going forward, I want to make kind of 1-year progress checks for every year on YouTube. You guys might think that I'm just naturally good at YouTube, but the way I became so good at making videos is because I spent 6 years watching everybody else do it first. So yeah, this is still going to be a tutorial that I make, but every year it's going to be a little more different. It's going to become more of a what have I learned in the past year of my career type thing, but I'm still going to go over to you guys and give you guys everything that I have learned in the past year of making YouTube videos. So last year I made this video with 3,500 subscribers, including my first year of YouTube. Today I have over 100,000. If you came here looking to be entertained, I'm gonna let you know right now, this isn't the video for you. This is for anybody who wants to pursue a career in content creation one day. I'll be making these videos every single year on my anniversary to show everything I've learned and give it back to you guys. If you guys are looking to do the same, you guys are looking to become creators, feel free to learn from what I've learned in the past. Anyways, there should be timestamps in the description, and hopefully the time bar on the screen right now is broken up. There's going to be subsections of everything I go over in this video. I'm going to try and break it up so you can navigate through it. Pick what you want to learn about, pick what you want to hear me talk about, my experiences making YouTube videos for 2 years. But realistically, if you want to really grow as a content creator and take things away from what I'm doing right now, you're probably going to want to stay for most of the video. Now, I'm not just going to sit here and tell you guys what to do and how to make your videos. I can do all the tips and put people on game like all the other YouTubers do, but it's really, everything is in here. Everything is in here that you're going to want to know. Things that I've learned, it's mainly, I mean, the best gems that I'm going to drop to you guys this video is going to be mentalities, mindsets, practices, and habits. And yeah, there's going to be the basic tips that I'll give you at the beginning of this, but if you really want to understand why I'm so successful in just a short amount of time and how I work the way I do, it's all up here. It's all up here. So towards the end of the video, that's where you're going to get the real juices, and you're going to have to be open to it. You're going to have to, in your mind, accept what I'm trying to give you here, because I can't just tell you what to do. That's not how it works. I've tried to get people to start YouTube. I do it all the time. You know what I mean? Just doing things isn't enough. You have to actually understand and have to have your mind right in order to succeed. So that's what this video is going to be about. Last year I went over how to start YouTube, how to do this, that, and the third, how to, get better at making videos. Today's video is going to be all about what you need to be, you know what I'm saying, how you need to move in order to find success on YouTube, along with everything I've learned. So to catch you guys up to where I'm at now, obviously with the first year, there's the basics. You obviously need to have the right equipment, cameras, microphones, the basics you need there to sound good, to look good. It obviously, if you have the money, do it to make your content look better in quality. Notice how I have lights in the background. I used to have them on the ceiling because they look cool. Then I realized, why do I want my setup to look cool? I want you guys to be able to see it. You look at Los Polos' background and other creators' backgrounds have lights in it. It just helps the aesthetic. I have a ring light behind my camera right now. If I didn't have it on, you guys would be looking at this. That's the basics. You gotta have the right equipment, obviously. I think that goes without saying. If you're a gamer, you're gonna need an Elgato game capture to record your gameplay, or you're gonna have to constantly take clips from your console. Paying for thumbnails is something people try not to do, but it's really important, especially if you're small. You're gonna wanna pay for thumbnails, at least if you're in the gaming community. That's pretty much the basics of that. When it comes to gaming, you're gonna have to make money investments. If you're doing in real life content or some sort of things outside of gaming, like what I do now, you don't really need to you don't have to buy thumbnails from people. You can really just make them yourselves. It's not as big of a deal there. I think the one most important thing people need to be doing, whether you're gaming or not, right now, I'm gonna be honest, bro, I was wrong about it before, but TikTok. All last year, I refused to make TikToks when I was playing 2K, and I saw a lot of creators I know, shout out 2Chill, shout out Disto, shout out J-Dub was on there a little bit. A lot of gaming creators posted TikToks, and they went crazy from it. I mean, I know people who have gotten 1 million views on multiple TikToks from gaming, and it boosts their channel views like crazy. I see people with, between 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers, averaging over 1,000 views a video, which for that amount of subs is crazy. It's all driven from TikTok. We see rappers, we see content creators, we see like large scale influencers and celebrities all come from TikTok. TikTok's influence, it's actually stronger, it's way stronger than YouTube is right now. So if you're trying to be big on YouTube, the best thing you can do is, take your best moments, take your best, parts of your videos and put them on TikTok. You have to think about this real quick. With Instagram, with Snapchat, with every social media, Facebook, you gotta pay to promote yourself on there to be pushed to the masses. But on TikTok, all it takes is a couple of posts, a couple of lucky hashtags, and you're getting put out to everybody for free. And I get it. Sometimes you're going to post TikToks and they're not going to do good, it's whatever, but you just got to keep posting them all because one day one of them is just going to snap, and I'm telling you, it's going to happen. There's a good amount of rappers right now, musical artists that have blown up from TikTok. That without TikTok, let's be real here, you see the memes of them flipping patties, if TikTok didn't exist. There's a lot of people. Don Toliver is one that comes to mind for me. I'm saying their first songs that blew up on TikTok, without that blow up, what would have happened? I mean, look at me. Aiden Ross saw my content from TikTok recommendations. He ended up commenting on it. 2 people tagged him, but I doubt that was what, made it happen. He ended up seeing my TikTok, and then he goes on stream later and watches it, and then boom, that led to everything. That was the initial snowball effect that started everything that happened for me. I mean, you guys just seen iShowSpeed. iShowSpeed is the first person who blew up for blowing up. Like, there was a point where he started to grow mad fast. The memes of him are hilarious. We've all seen the give it to me, the backflips, the barking, the screaming, everything he's done. But there was a multiple day period where he was gaining over 100,000 and 200,000 subs a day. And it got to a point where people were posting it on TikTok and people were just subbing to him to be a part of this mass scale of influence where people were just, it wasn't subbotting. People want to think that, but it wasn't. He was blowing up for blowing up, and that is the power of TikTok influence right there. Last thing I'll say is I seen this TikToker recently. I think his name is Josh something. He has a podcast, I think, with Dave Portnoy. He recently just got a partnership with NHL, I think. And if you don't understand how big that is, look at it like this. There's been only 2 sets of creators that have been put into partnerships with sports leagues, and they're hardly even creators, they're more of brands. FaZe Clan had an NFL sponsorship. It was more of like a merch collab, but it happened. And then the same thing with Lyrical Lemonade, which Lyrical Lemonade and FaZe Clan, they're essentially large-scale brands. It's hard to call them creators. So for someone from TikTok to get a partnership with the NHL, I'm not sure if it was a partnership. I think it was more of a, I think he's going to be doing commentary. Either way, to breach a connection from one singular creator to a large-scale sports league, that should show you how much of an influence TikTok can have on your career. So that's pretty much the basics. That's the equipment you need to have. That's the, social medias you want to put yourself on. You want to be on YouTube, but you want to be on TikTok. You got to have the right equipment, visuals, and all that. Next thing we'll go over is just the basic video tips. So obviously when you're making your videos, I'll say right now, the first thing I said in my last video that I hinted towards this one is your fingerprint. I think having a fingerprint in your videos is something not a lot of people think about. But right now, mental exercise. Take your favorite YouTuber or streamer. Let's say it's your Rage. Let's say it's Dante. Let's say it's Aiden Ross. They all have a fingerprint. Now I want you to figure out, what is their fingerprint? What is it about them that nobody does that you love them for? Now I'll answer for you right now. You can pause it and think about it all you want, but right now I'll tell you, your Rage, first off, his fingerprint, or part of his fingerprint, because it's multiple things you do that go into that one fingerprint. I'll say one thing your Rage does, the end screen. Nobody was doing that when he started that, and it's hilarious to this day when he sees something ridiculous and he pauses the video and puts that end screen on. I'm sitting in my room laughing in silence. And there's many things your Rage does besides just that end screen. It's the way he acts, his slang, the things he says, the type of memes he brings up for his content. With Aiden, obviously part of his fingerprint was the sus jokes. We get a lot of people are going to try and hop on that now, but he was he was like the pioneer of being sus. It kind of became an ongoing thing on his channel where he would try and get as many rappers as possible to feel uncomfortable. It was almost like a checklist. Which rapper can I get to feel uncomfortable today? And everybody was in on it. It was like, oh, G Herbo's gonna come on the stream today. Oh, let's see how he reacts to when he's getting, sus jokes thrown at him. You know what I mean? Everybody has a fingerprint in their channel. I'd say part of my fingerprint, I'd say the DC vibe checks, the fact that I'm always just pushing DC music left and right. I'm always using these underground hyper pop beats from the SoundCloud community. I have these memes I put in my videos. You guys see this right here.
Is that Travis Scott? Travis Scott?
Those type of memes and everything that I do in my content, what you guys find funny, that's part of my fingerprint. Another thing about my fingerprint is the way I perfectly put these clips into these Zoom calls. There's a ton of Zoom trolling YouTubers out there that use clips, but when I go into a certain class at the clip, it's just gonna be right. And it's all part of the way I make my videos. You guys have faith in me every time I go into a class. There's something hilarious about to happen. Everything I do together to make my videos enjoyable, and how you guys find me funny for what I do and nobody else does, that's what makes up my fingerprint. So start doing stuff original. Start doing random parts of your videos. Let's say the vibe checks, the you've been caught lacking. People used to do, you've been caught lacking, drop a like on the video randomly in the video, and it'd be like a grandma holding a gun. Do some little simple stuff that you just constantly want to build up an inside connection with your, your viewers, your supporters. You have to have these little things you do in your videos that people are going to recognize for being your content. Someone has to watch a video and without hearing your voice, just see what's on the screen and just be like, oh, that's his video right there. You see the DC vibe check? That's a MattRadiant video. End screen, that's your rage. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to have that part of their video where it's like, oh yeah, that's him right there. You have to have that fingerprint. One thing that's really important for YouTubers that you need to understand this year, audience retention or watch time, the longer people watch your videos on average, that pretty much is going to drive your success. So YouTube made it this year recently where the longer watch time you have on your videos and the more interaction you have, obviously likes and comments help, of course, but audience retention and interaction is what drives your videos into recommendations and especially for search results. So let's say right now, when I was making 2K tutorials earlier this year, if my 2K tutorial on how to do the momentum crossover had a longer watch time than somebody else who made the tutorial, when someone would search how to do the momentum crossover, mine comes up at the top. And that's why right now, I have videos from current gen, before I even rebranded my channel, that are running recommendations and have over 100,000 views. Even though I quit that game, I don't make videos on it anymore. 2 of my videos happen to get a large scale watch time and they run the recommendation. Every time you search that video, mine comes up first. So now you should be asking, how do I get a high average watch time on all my videos? So pretty much what I do for my videos now, I believe it was my boy Disto who told me or someone, but I forget who it is. I run this thing called the 15-second rule in my videos. You need to make sure throughout your entire video that you have no dry spots, no dull moments longer than 15 seconds. Because once someone's watching and gets bored for at least 10 to 15 seconds, they're gonna probably click off and that affects your watch time. So it's important that every 5 to 10 seconds, there's something going on, whether it be a camera movement, an edit. You have to feed the attention span of your viewers. You see Gen Z right now, bunch of little ass kids running through TikTok fast as possible. Our attention spans are at an all-time low. So you gotta make sure you don't just drop content and just leave it unedited, uncut. You know what I mean? You leave in these dry spots just to fill up the videos, because you can make 40-minute videos, but if they don't have the average watch time, they're gonna do horrible. That's why when you see me do Zoom videos, everything is fast-paced with mine. So when I make a 25, 30-minute video, 40-minute video, my compilation is going crazy right now. I dropped a 40-minute compilation, the first one I did, and it's about to be the most viewed video on my channel. It gets thousands of views every day. You wanna know why? It's being recommended more than any video on my channel because it's a long video, but it also pulled the long watch time average, the audience retention. That's why you see people in the 2K community, I'll use an example, Duke Dennis, Ticino make videos on average longer than most creators. Duke Dennis's normal videos are 20 minutes. Ticino does wages. Some of his videos are an hour long. People watch them front to back. Your Rage, 15-minute reactions, hour and a half reactions. Those videos have watch time because they know how to make their videos. Plus everybody rocks with them heavy. They're, established creators. Their videos hit algorithm like crazy. So yes, you want to make long videos. You do want to make longer videos, but you also have to fill them in. You can't have dull moments. Watch time is everything. Then comes the methods for the watch time. So obviously we just went over that shit, but realistically, if you want to establish watch time, I mean, the basic things that I've learned is that even though you might think it's a little corny, it's a little cheesy, it's a little basic, bro, you'd be surprised of what a 5-second snippet in your video could do for the rest of your video, bro. Sometimes I get lazy and I don't do it, but every video I've done where I've had like a 10-second, something, the big moment that happens in the middle of the video or the end of the video, every time I take that and I put it at the start of my video, that video hits algorithm like crazy. It's because the watch time is so much better. And I don't know why I'm too lazy to do it every time. But let's say right now, my first 3 Zoom trolling videos are all top 5 my channel in views, even though 2 of them are yellow marked, which when they get yellow marked, you don't get pushed out as much. If your video gets limited and ad suitability, it won't get pushed out as much, just so you know. But yeah, even though 2 out of my first 3 Zoom trolling videos are yellow marked and I don't get much money for them, they don't get recommended as much, they're still pushing because the power of the watch time algorithm I have going, because I had the 10-second intense 3 best Zoom clips in that video at the start of the video. Essentially what I'm trying to say is if you have a crazy moment in your video, the big moment at the end, the funniest moment in the middle, put at the start of your video a little 5-second trailer, because out of the hundreds of people that'll watch your video, out of the 20 people that watch it, out of 1,000, 100,000, at least a couple of those people, there's going to be a certain percentage that maybe wouldn't have stayed to watch the whole thing. That will, because they saw that moment and they're waiting for it. Just recently, my Aiden Ross video I did on Omegle, I was, close to not putting a snippet at the beginning, but I did it for Solomonati, and that video was going crazy. It's at like over 120K, and I just did it for the Aiden one because I was like, why not? Why not, dude? I just feel like it today. I have the extra effort, the extra energy to edit my video, and I do it, and that Aiden video is at like 70K right now. I just dropped it a few days ago and it's getting like 10K views a day. It's right now my top grossing video every day. And it's simple things like that. Your rage, if you didn't notice, because I skip through it all the time because I already know I'm gonna watch the whole video anyway. But your rage has those like best 3 moments he puts at the start of his videos. Mr. Beast, he'll highlight the best moments of the video and he'll have a very quick intro. Your rage obviously doesn't have an intro, but think about all these people that make crazy videos that get recommended a lot, long videos, high views. The best thing you can do is have a short and sweet intro and have a nice, intense little snippet at the start of your video. Every vlogger did it. Rice Gum used to do it. Now Aiden is doing it right now. You can see Aiden's editor, WAF. He's essentially like a rebrand of TWAP. Game comes from him. You know what I'm saying? They have the same little music at the beginning of every Aiden live plug.
You gotta squat, bend like this. Don't bend your...
You get a snippet and it does wonders. You might not, it's like that extra effort you could be putting in. Sometimes you don't, but if you do, it makes a huge difference. So yeah, pretty much out of everything I just said, the main thing you want to worry about is watch time. So short and sweet intros. Mr. Beast intros are like less than 5 seconds. He'll be like, we're doing this today. And then it just goes to the video. You know what I mean? Short and sweet intros. Maybe little hype snippets to get the audience retention going, and no dull moments longer than 10 to 15 seconds. And if you can make the videos longer by maybe waiting to get more content to make the longer video, it will obviously help you in the long run. But the one thing you do have to make sure, I know when you're small, when you have a small channel, you just need to get as many views and subs as possible when you're trying to get out there. So I understand people go for a quantity over quality mindset, but once you get your first video to blow, you have to switch over to quality over quantity. Last thing I'm gonna say before we get into the mindsets and the juice and everything that's important, quality over quantity. Obviously everybody knows there's truth in that statement, but I understand people that when they first make their YouTube, they go for quantity. That's what I did. I made tons of 2K tutorials. I even spread them out so I can make a tutorial on every little move instead of making them all in one video. And yeah, it's good for your growth. And eventually when 2K started to fall off, my channel started to die. But when I made that first Zoom trolling video, that video was a amazing video. It's a classic. Most of you do on my channel. Once I got all the hype from that video, I said, look, this quantity over quality thing is gonna stop. I'm gonna push out this part 2, but then I'm gonna really take my time, and every week or every 2 weeks I'll get a banger video out. And that's when I took 2 weeks off. I got over 50 Zoom clips and I put out part 3, a 20-minute video, and that one, boom. In every video I've dropped since, I could have put leftover clips together, I could have made filler videos, but I keep my watch time at an all-time high. I know what I'm doing, man. You gotta really prioritize on watch time and quality over quantity to make sure that happens. But you guys pretty much get what I'm saying, right? Obviously, I mean, like, you're gonna go for just the most videos possible to get out there and grow when you're small. But once you get that one chance, once that one video starts to hit, if you get a singular bit of a spark and you can grow off of that, stick to a quality over quantity mindset. It'll help you in the long run. So that's it for just basic gaming tips, but what's really important is the mindsets and ideologies you carry with you while you're making videos. So that's what we're gonna get into right now. So I pretty much have a list of bullets on my phone right now with everything that I've been taking down over the past few months, and I'm just gonna spew them all out to you guys. Now this first ideology I have, I think a lot of you guys are gonna relate to this because I just know I'm not the only one that feels this. Listen, bro. First thing I'm gonna say right now, placing yourself in a motivational environment drives you so much further than you would normally be going. What I mean by that, look around my room right now. I could show a video on screen. I'll pop it up on screen right now. A few months ago, my room was way simpler and it was just a table with a TV and an Xbox. Now, I don't know about you guys, but anyone that has ever renovated their room from just a regular room with a bed and a gaming console or a couch and a gaming console to getting a table and a small TV or monitor, have you ever just made that first gaming setup to be like that YouTuber you watch? I know you guys can relate. When you make that first gaming setup and you have a table and a small TV, it like motivates you to play more. I'm not even talking about YouTube right now. This is just you spending time in your own room. You ever just make your first gaming setup with a small table and a small TV, and you just feel like a content creator, even though you're not? I know I'm not the only one that can relate to that. Listen, the same thing goes for when you're actually making YouTube videos and everything. Listen, putting yourself and decking out your room, putting yourself in an environment that motivates you does wonders. There's so many little things you could do the star projector I have right here that lights up my room blue with sparkles. Behind you right now, I'll pop a picture on screen. I got the soundproofing, the ring light. I have my whole setup right here. I got a painting on the wall. My setup video I pretty much showed. I get little things along my table too to motivate me. I have a little pink plant. I got this XXX and Tessie Pokemon card, this DC, this little glass plaque, this little white guitar. You know what I'm saying? Decking out your setup and putting one together in general, putting yourself in an environment that motivates you does wonders, because when I'm in this setup, I'm just motivated to get to work. And I'm not saying you gotta just go out and spend all this money, because some of you guys might not have the money to put together a crazy setup. I get that. But I remember just once being in 7th grade, and I had my Xbox on the top of my thing right there, the big black bureau I have on my TV. I would lay in bed and I would play Xbox up there. And then one day, you know what I'm saying, my mom had this table she didn't need. I put it down in my room, put my TV on that table with my Xbox, and I just felt so rejuvenated. It made me want to play Xbox so much more. It's like when you create this little office for yourself in this little work environment, it motivates you so much. And you need to really tap into that, because we all experience that feeling. I know I'm not the only one here that feels that and experiences that, but you really have to tap into that and keep, you know what I'm saying, if you're someone that likes to organize and rearrange things like me, you might not, but either way, you have to keep tapping into, you know, what motivates you, and you have to keep doing things that will make you want to go harder. Every so often, you're going to get sick of your environment. It happens, we're humans, but making sure that you put yourself somewhere where it's going to make you want to go harder, it is important. You got to put yourself in a motivational environment. It's the little things you do around your setup, you know, the little things you do in your own room, your whole bedroom. You know what I'm saying? You have to make your time in this space more enjoyable. That way you're driven to do more. Just think about the pictures you see on Twitter and Instagram when you see like the world's best gaming setup, and it kind of just motivates you to want to work, because you're telling me right now, I'll pop a setup on screen right now I found on Twitter. You're telling me this is in your bedroom and you don't just want to start gaming for no reason? Gaming sucks right now. You're telling me if this is in your bedroom, you don't just all of a sudden want to play like way more? It's all motivational purposes, bruh. The more, and it doesn't have to be that skill. Like I said, you guys aren't gonna have the money, possibly, but if you set up a little mini work environment for yourself, or just put yourself by, like, set up things in your room that motivate you more, it's going to do wonders for you in the long run. You have to put yourself in an environment that will motivate you more, because some days you won't be as motivated as you normally are. I have days where I'm low on motivation, but guess what? I sit in this chair, I turn on the lights and the camera, and I'm like, okay, we're in a studio. Let's make the dreams happen. That leads me to one of my next points. I think it's very important that we do acknowledge how we feel sometimes, because sometimes we're high on motivation and sometimes we're low. So whether you write things down or keep pictures or reminders, you gotta have some sort of cheats to bring yourself up on days when you don't have motivation. Because some days you're gonna be in your room or you're gonna be doing things and you're gonna be low on motivation. You're not gonna want to do stuff, but it's important that you get things or put yourself around people or relics in your room, or you just remind yourself with things you keep on your phone, pictures, things you write down. You have to be able to bring yourself out of motivational slumps. Right now, what I'm working on is I think I'm going to start putting together a collage of pictures in my room of every one of my favorite creators when they were at their peak moments. You got like the A&P house they just moved into, Phase when they got to New York, some of the happiest pictures of my creators growing up. I think I'm going to put a collage of them together and put it on my wall. Or another thing I want to do is I want to take this screenshot right here. This picture of me and all my friends in the thumbnail of a Flight Reacts video. Keep in mind, a few months ago, I was nothing on YouTube and none of this had happened, but in just a few months, I managed to get me and all my friends on the face of Flight Reacts YouTube channel. I want to take that, frame it, and throw it on the wall over there, because that shit motivates the hell out of me. That's one of my biggest medals from this year. I'll have this YouTube plaque later on, but the fact that I put me and all my boys on the face of Flight Reacts YouTube channel is insane to me. Another thing I want to do is take the hate comments. I have a couple hate comment screenshots from way back when that told me I wouldn't go far, and now I'm at here, you know, I'm where I'm at now. I want to get those. I want to frame some hate comments in my room. It's just the simple ideas I've been thinking of lately, little things to motivate me, because when I'm feeling down, you have to prepare for low days. You got to prepare for when you're not feeling well, so you can bring yourself back up. And it's the little shit like that that will go so far. You buy a little frame and a comment, like it's just the way I think. You want to see how my mind works? This is how it is. I make preparations and I make thoughts. I write in my phone, I write on paper all the time. I do little things so that when I'm feeling down or I'm not motivated, I bring myself back up because I know how this all works. I think setting goals is important too. Obviously, we all want to have like a plan and a layout of what we want to do. But one thing I've learned about YouTube, and I really capitalized on this going out of the 2K community, is that with every year starting, let's say it's the gaming cycle like this fall, if any of you guys are starting to make videos on 2K22, or if you're just gonna rebrand it the new year, whatever you're doing, set a goal for yourself and don't set it like reasonable. We're on YouTube. We just saw Speed get 2 mil in 2 weeks. Don't set yourself a reasonable goal. I had 5,000 subs and I wrote on this board, keep in mind, I erased it. I shouldn't have erased it, but I have a picture because I thought I wasn't gonna do it. But I wrote down the board, my goal for the year was 100,000 subscribers. I had many other goals, all of which I achieved this year, and I erased that whole board because I didn't have confidence in myself because I wanted to make something that was more realistic. Stop setting yourself realistic shit. You know what I mean? If you're gonna have 5,000 subscribers and your goal for the next year is to get to 10, what are you doing? It's so easy to get that overnight if just the right thing happens to you. With everything that could go, everything that could go right with TikTok, with all other platforms. If you're setting yourself reasonable goals, get that shit out the window, because worst comes to worst, you know what I'm saying? You set a goal right now, right? I have 100,000 subs. I want to go for 200K before this year's over. I said it in my last video. If I don't get it, whatever, it's fine. You set the goal high, you set the bar high. But if you set it high, you're going to want to work harder and you're going to run faster. You shouldn't just be walking towards goals. You need to be running towards them. And worst comes to worst, if you don't get it, you don't need to feel bad. Now imagine if you had 5K subs and the goal was 10K. Your tempo was pushed way lighter. You didn't get it. You'd probably feel way worse after. But when you set your goal way higher, you run faster, and the original realistic goals you would have set for yourself, you probably beat like nothing. Now, I'm not just saying go run in your wall that you want to hit 1 million subscribers this year, but you know what I'm saying, shoot higher than you normally think. Reasonable range, of course, there has to be some level of realism, but set your goals way higher than you think they would be. I've seen people like Phantom, Davis, and Agent in the 2K community go from 10,000 subs to 100K in a year, and from 100K in a year to 500K, and that was how I wanted to be. I seen the screenshot from Fargo's video, I think, of Phantom sub growth. I'll put it on screen right now. I saw all these YouTubers do that, and that was my goal. So at the end of 2K20, I had like 3,500, 4,000 subs. I said I wanted 100K the next year. It wasn't, unrealistic. I've seen it before. It was possible, and I wanted to be in the top category YouTubers. I wanted to be one of the biggest successors in the 2K community. Just like everybody else that had done it, I wanted to be in the A tier category of growth. And if you don't get it, it's fine. It can happen the next year. But just set your goal higher. Simple. I think comparing yourself to other people also is another thing that we need to go over right now, because comparing yourself to other people is like, you can do it reasonably. Like I just said, like I can look at people and want to grow the way they did, but comparing yourself to people can get in your own head just as much as it can do wonders for you. We all have to understand that comparing ourselves to people, everybody grows at different rates. For example, right now, today is my 2-year anniversary on YouTube. Yay, I have 100,000 subscribers. That's so amazing. You guys are looking at that like, oh, I've been doing YouTube for 4 years. I don't have any subs. Okay, well, I can sit here and say, wow, I only have 100,000. Dream, the Minecraft YouTuber, his 2-year anniversary was 2 weeks ago. He has 24 million. Could you imagine getting 24 million subs in 2 years? That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Everybody has somebody they can compare themselves to. There's always going to be someone above you, and there's always going to be somebody that wishes they were in your spot. Keep that in mind. Even if you are at the lowest point in your life right now, there's somebody that's dead that would kill to be alive. So you have to be grateful for the position you're in. Not only that, but you're going to understand everybody works at a different rate. There's people, in the rap game and the YouTube game that it took them years to get up, and there's some people that got it quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm in YouTube for the long run. When I first started doing these Zoom trolling videos, I could have pushed 20 out mad quick. And my boys were like, why'd you stop after 4? Why'd you only make 4 videos? I said, listen, I'm not trying to burn this out. I took my time. I'm here on YouTube to do this shit for the long run. I want this to be my career. So I'm going to do this the right way, the slow way. I'm not going to kill any of the trends I make. I'm going to take my time. I did season 1. I waited a few months. I did season 2. I'm in it for the long run. You know what I'm saying? That saying, it's not a marathon, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. That's kind of the way I take my YouTube channel. There's gotta be these little things you do to where you make sure you're in the right place, because you don't have to blow up immediately. You can take a long time. Whatever you do, just make sure you're on track to the right end goal. That's all that matters. And I think having faith that you end up at the right end goal is important too, because one thing I also learned this year, another thing I learned, is that no matter how bad the position I've been put in, I said this in my Q&A, no matter how bad of a position you get put in, if you have faith that you'll end up where you need to be at the end of the day, no matter how much of a low you get to, if you just trust that over time, at the lowest points you get to, if you just trust that you'll get to where you need to be no matter how long it takes, then you're going to be fine no matter what. I erased my goals on my whiteboard. I thought I was screwed. I was dropping out of college to make 2K videos, and 2K died. I thought it was done for me. And then a few months later, just a few months later, I'm already where I'm at now. And because of what I've learned this year, from now on, no matter how low my views get, no matter how bad my channel gets, just because of the sole fact that I have faith that whatever dry spells I go into, if anything bad happens to me, my channel slows down, whatever happens, you know what I'm saying, if I struggle with content, if I have big issues with my life, I have faith that I'm going to get to where I need to be. Because if you asked me a few months ago if I'd be where I'm at now, I wouldn't have believed you, and no other YouTuber really would. That's how it works. So to summarize this point out, pretty much what I'm saying is just, as long as you truly believe that you're going to get to where you need to be, and you just gradually work straightforward every day, whatever you're going to do, just as long as you believe that you're going on the right path, even if you deal with some huge issues in your life, or, you know what I'm saying, everything gets boring and slow, as long as you believe that you're getting where you need to be, then you're going to be fine. And I get it, it's hard to believe when you're small because you haven't, you know, broken over that hump yet, but as long as you believe it's there, it's gonna happen. I mean, as long as you're doing everything right on YouTube, the odds are, you know, the longer you do it, the more likely you are to blow up. And growth is exponential on YouTube. It's harder to get your first 1,000 subs than it is to go from 99K to 100K, obviously. It took me a whole year to get my first 1,000 subs. I was literally going up 100 subs like every 2 months until quarantine started. And now I get like 300, 400, 500 subs a day. So when you're bigger, you're gonna be getting more subs anyway. When you have 600,000 subs, you're gonna be gaining a few thousand a day. Now, it took you a year to get your first 1,000, but once you're bigger, it's gonna go faster. So you just gotta understand, take a year or two to get those couple thousand subs. But eventually, once you hit that hump, you start going quality over quantity, you start making the right videos, it's gonna go faster, and before you know it, it's going to be sooner than you think, to the point when you start blowing up. So once again, a combination of everything I said, you have to have it all together. Because once you have everything at a level understanding that I've been talking about right now, you're gonna be fine. And then all you have to do is just work. Another thing I've learned this year that I truly believe in is I think we all need to understand the balance of opportunities. I've never heard anybody talk about this, but it's something I've been really studying myself all year long. The way opportunities come and go, it's kind of like the laws of energy. Now, I'm a little rough on school. You know, I did have a 4.2 scale GPA, but I don't really remember everything I learned in science class, but I do know there was that law of energy. I think it's a law of conservation of energy or whatever. Like, energy isn't created or destroyed, it's just transferred. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't just delete itself or grow or anything. It just goes somewhere else. And that's the same thing with opportunities. The pandemic is the biggest example of transfer of opportunities, the balance of opportunities. Opportunities were lost, but they were gained just as equally. With everyone going home, just think about the people who own Zoom. Imagine how down and out that company was, the company that runs Zoom or whatever, the people who own it. And then the pandemic starts, and with the loss of opportunities for all the people who own those stores, people's stores went out of business, people's, you know, everything they run in public, their, let's say, karate studios, food restaurants, all these people that had opportunities in public, they were all lost, but they were just as many created in content creation from home, streaming, Zoom calls. There is just as much opportunity created as there is destroyed. That's why it's not created or destroyed. It's only transferred. And you could look at so many things in life like that. I think people really need to understand how important it is to understand that opportunities aren't lost and gained. They're transferred to other places. You could look at viewership on anything, television, YouTube, TikTok, as, you know, an example of balance of opportunity. YouTube views went from certain types of videos being big when the world was normal, public pranks, public this, that, and the third. Those views start to go down, or maybe you could say the opportunity is lost because when the views stay up and you do things in public during the pandemic, you get a lot of hate for it because people don't like to see you in public when, oh, it's a pandemic, you should be vaccinated to go out, blah, 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 whatever, right? But if I'm at home, there's so much viewership right now of me just making Zoom trolling videos. You know, people love to see it. People love to see this content that we're making from home. And you know, everyone's commenting on videos. Is YouTube and everyone's best friend this quarantine? Blah, 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 blah. Shut up. But there is truth in that statement. Viewership obviously goes up because of the quarantine. So like I said, certain jobs were given just as much opportunity as other jobs were lost. You have to understand that certain videos, I was making 2K videos and it was cool. Everyone wanted to play 2K when we were in school. But when the quarantine hit, it actually started to die down a little bit. It boosted up like crazy. 2K views were up from the quarantine. Everyone was so excited to be out of school. And then it got boring. Ticino did what he could with wagers to keep the community alive, but it dried out like crazy. And then we're in a pandemic. everyone's out. Zoom videos blow up. You got Too Mad, Balin Levine did videos on it, Luke AFK, of course, Nicola Milana had a few in there, many other creators where Zoom trolling was just blowing up. There's random Zoom compilations that were just little kids taking Snapchats. They got 6 million views, 7 million views. You know what I mean? Opportunity is not lost and gained. It's just put somewhere else. People need to understand that. So if you're going to be a creator, the way I apply that to myself is that I understand that if one video is not doing as good as it is anymore, something else comes back in its place. You just have to find it. I'm obviously slowing down on Zoom videos right now. Zoom is slowly dying. The opportunities for me to find classes are becoming harder, but I understand just as well that if there's less people signing up for Zoom classes, there's more people out that window, out that door in the real world right now waiting to be messed with, and that's what I'm gonna start doing next. You can look at viewership, populations, opportunities with people for interactions. Everything is all just transferal of opportunities, and that's something that I should probably trademark because I haven't heard anybody talk about that, but I believe it to its core. I think assessing yourself and understanding yourself also helps. So I did a little bit of talking about that before, and I talked about understanding your motivational highs and lows and how you should, prepare yourself to be unmotivated so that you can assess yourself and bring yourself out of that slump. I think doing exercises and little habits to help yourself get out of certain situations or even just analyze yourself, it does wonders. One thing I've done recently is I've watched a few podcasts, and the few people I've heard about Mr. Beast, they've talked about some crazy things he does. He has habits that he does every single day that keep his creative spark going. So some things I do is I like to write down in my notes. You can write down pen and paper. People really underestimate what writing down things on pen and paper do for you. I know a lot of you guys are little kids and a lot of people in this world at Gen Z, and they don't like writing because we've been out of school for 2 years. Listen, I'm the same. We have all been out of school for so long. Writing things down is so important, especially about yourself. I've started to document how I feel for over years now about random situations, so I understand it's not going to be as bad next time because I've already been through this before. I think understanding what you love about making videos, if you want to be a content creator, is important too. One thing that I love, I'll say this every time it comes up, my favorite thing about YouTube is the Premiere system, because I love, after spending 3 or 4 weeks on a crazy video like the Disney audition process, the Zoom trolling finale, months and months or weeks and weeks into a video, I love getting to be in the chat and see everybody live, experiencing that video, enjoying it, seeing everyone's reaction. That little Premiere experience is the sole reason I'm in love with making videos right now. You need to understand the pros and cons of your life, and you kind of have to assess the way you feel about them. It helps to write things down and just to understand this is what we do it for, this is what we love. You could take those things, like the motivational thumbnails or screenshots that I wanted to put on my wall. You can put them on your wall to motivate you, but all I'm saying right now is you got to learn how to assess yourself. You have to learn to value your rewards and, I'm saying keep them in mind, because if you don't know why you're doing this for, then you got a problem. If you're doing it for the money, at least understand that. You know what I mean? You gotta know what you're doing this for, because if you're just doing it aimlessly, let's say you're doing it to impress somebody else and you don't realize that you're doing it, but you kind of are, you got to figure that out for yourself. If you're doing it to be happy, if you're doing it for money, if you're doing it because you love just the sport of doing whatever it is you're doing in general, you have to understand that. Pretty much what I'm saying is know what you want, but I want to emphasize the fact that you should be writing down a lot of your feelings and the way you think and things you learn as time goes on, because you're going to need to tell yourself and put things into your mind so that you really have knowledge of everything you're doing and how you feel. I mean, just the other day I wrote down just simple things about me hitting 100K, because I know years from now I'm going to look back at it. The other day I hit 100K, and saying the views on my video were terrible. Some of the worst views I've had since before my blow up, you know what I mean? And I was just talking about it to myself in my notes. I was writing down I'm so happy right now that I hit 100K, but I still have this really gloomy feeling today, and it's because my video did bad. And understanding that it's not just because the views were low, but it's more I kind of feel like my feelings were hurt a little bit, because it seemed like not that many people cared that I hit 100K as much as I expected. And even though I don't really care about how bad the video did, it's not a big deal to me. I'm well over caring about views at this point. It's more of just the way I feel as a result of how my channel does. I kind of have to assess that, and that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. I understand, damn, this video didn't do good. I don't care about the views, but this was kind of an important video, so my feelings are slightly hurt that the video didn't do as good. But either way, I'll be fine, and I know that after I sleep, everything's just going to be different. But I do have to document myself when I'm not feeling well so that I understand on the good days or the future bad days, you know what I'm saying, how I operate. The last thing I'll say on the topic of analyzing yourself especially is YouTube Studio, because YouTube Studio can be the devil of your mindsets when you're making YouTube videos, because it is so easy to let yourself dictate how you feel about a video you made based on getting a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, all the way down to 10 out of 10. Because I'll tell you right now, listen, my past 3 videos that I've made, Zoom Trolling Compilation, Z's and Bilu Freestyle, and Aiden Freestyle on Omegle, those videos were all 10 out of 10s on my channel, and they were all gray. And I understand that my views are down because I just came off of a huge blow up on Zoom trolling, so it doesn't really matter to me. But at the same time, a lot of people would be like, oh damn, I'm falling off. Oh damn, my videos are doing bad. Listen, if you made a great video and it doesn't get a lot of views, you know what I'm saying? You can be mad at YouTube for not pushing your video out, but don't feel sad about it. You know, obviously I've understood this because I write things down to myself all the time. That's why we should do this, because it's important we analyze how we feel and how we understand the way our videos perform. All the videos I've dropped in the past 2 weeks that have come out as 10 out of 10s have recovered to 2, 3, 1 out of 10s over time. And even if it was an initial 1 out of 10 or an initial 10 out of 10, it doesn't make a difference to me because I know I put out a good video and I'm happy with it. And yeah, I get it. If you make an amazing video, it's disappointing when it doesn't blow up because you think it's worthy of it. My Disney audition video, that should have went viral. Plenty of other videos I've made are worthy of going viral. But here's what you have to understand about YouTube. YouTube is a repeating process. With every video you make, you're essentially laying out this huge architectural plan. You lay out the blueprints. You have this crazy video that's meant to blow up. You already laid out in your mind the way you're going to drop it. It's going to go viral overnight. And then it just doesn't work. What happens next? You get sad about it? No, you just do it again. I mean, you don't drop videos expecting that they'll do bad, do you? You make every single video hoping that it blows up, hoping that it gets a lot of views. YouTube is essentially, it's almost like the definition of insanity. You're doing the same thing until you get the different result. So with every video I make, I lay out this plan, I put this video together amazing, and then it doesn't blow up, and I'm like, okay, I could be sad for the rest of the day. My YouTube Studio tells me that I don't have a lot of views in this video as I normally average. What are you gonna do? You're gonna be sad about it? No. Fuck no, I'm not gonna be sad. I'll just mope around for the rest of the day, get some sleep, wake up tomorrow, make another video. Your video didn't get as much views as the ones you normally get. You have this little gray circle in your YouTube Studio telling you that fewer viewers wanted to watch your video. So it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna cry about it? No, just make another video. That's really all you can do. If you're in it for the long run, when you make a video that does bad, you can't just tell yourself it's a bad video because people didn't want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? My 100K video is a really good video, and I love that video. And you know, nobody really cared about it enough to watch it, more than a few thousand people. But you also have to appreciate what you have and be like, okay, that video didn't do that great. What are you gonna do? So I'm just gonna make another one. So then I filmed that 100K Q&A. It actually isn't out at the time of recording this, although it should be by now. And yeah, hopefully that video does great. But if it doesn't, okay, this video might not do good either because I'm just talking. Okay, whatever. Next video I make, hopefully that one does good. YouTube is essentially a repeating process of just dropping videos until one of them does good, one of them hits algorithm. You can't really get hung up on one video. You just have to understand that you have to continue to move on. So that's what helps me when I document my emotions and my feelings about my videos, because I can have a really bad day and it can be because my video didn't get a lot of views, not because I care about the views specifically, but it's more about how I wanted people to receive it and feel and understand everything that I said to them and get the message that they didn't get because they didn't watch it. And it's like, okay, it sucks, but you know what? All we can do is make another one. So that's what you got to understand. You got to keep pushing. We're in it for the long run no matter what. So yeah. Another thing I've learned is that you can also develop habits and practices you can do. So one thing I like to do sometimes, obviously the fingerprint is an exercise I gave you guys already. You can look at certain people's videos and understand their fingerprint. So you can really understand why people love watching them so much, what makes them unique. You know what I'm saying? What is it that they do where it's like, okay, that is why your rage is your rage, or Dante is Dante, or Solomonati is Solomonati. We all know Solomonati is one of the most unique creators ever because of the memes and everything. What are these things that people say, do, music they listen to? What is it about their videos that they do that makes them them? That's one exercise. Another exercise you can do, I have two right now that I'll name you that Mr. Beast does, I've heard about from various podcasts. Mr. Beast, he used to just do an hour of brainstorming every day, but now what I've been hearing, I saw this on the Impulsive podcast, Mr. Beast just goes out every day and walks for 30 minutes and just calls random people. And all he does, because he understands the mind is random. You get ideas from the most random things. Seeing a tree, watching a video. You have to understand that the way your brain works, you just get random motivation from different things, and ideas come out of anything. That's what brainstorming is for. So Mr. Beast goes outside every day and he walks for 30 minutes and he just calls random people. He goes down the contact list and he calls random people. He called Logan on Impulsive, that's why I saw it. And he just talks to them about anything until an idea happened. And Mr. Beast has a well understanding of how the human mind works, and that's something that I like to try and practice too. I personally like to try and just watch YouTube videos or do even my fingerprint exercise so I can get motivation and think, ooh, what do I want to do? I like to see what's hot. I like to go see, ooh, King Sid's doing these smash and pass in real life. People really like to see these social experiment type videos. People like to see the insight of what people think in the interaction. Maybe I should try and do some public pranks where I ask people questions and do this, that, and the third. People like to see all these type of videos. Maybe I should try something in that realm. You have to understand where you get ideas from. You have to watch certain people to get ideas. And even if you're not copying them, it still helps. When I want to think of ideas, sometimes I just go look on YouTube and see what's trending. And then I get ideas from it. Not the same thing they're doing, but I think of other things that could be extended from it. I was watching Luke videos in bed with 4,000 subscribers on a dead YouTube channel, and I saw his video on Zoom and I was like, oh wow, that's really funny. I could do that better. That's what I did. The other exercise Mr. Beast does is he gets a dictionary, and I think this is crazy. This was in my agent video because agent told me this on Zoom. Mr. Beast takes a dictionary and he just goes through it, flips to a random page, puts his finger on a word, and he says, okay, what is the craziest video I can make with that word, to do with that word, the craziest idea I can do with that word. And it's like Mr. Beast, he has such a well understanding of how the mind works and how you can just brainstorm ideas. He does exercises. He literally takes time out of his day to perform exercises to think of ideas. It's good habits. So what I want to tell you guys, essentially, what I've taken from that is that it's good to have these exercises and ways of thinking. The way I do my exercises, I watch YouTube videos and I just think of how I can extend them. There's a certain template to how people blow up, and there's obviously easier routes where you can just get people to react to you, kind of how I've done. Or you can just make videos that go viral, videos that no matter who you are, you're going to have to click on it. And there's exercises that you can do that'll help you get there. So yeah, I just gave you guys a ton of ideologies and mindsets, but it's also good that you have these practices. Writing things down to yourself so you understand how to get yourselves out of bad days and slumps is an exercise I do. Another exercise I do is I take videos that blew up even 4, 5, 6 years ago. I look at them and I just think, maybe I could bring that back in a way spicier way and it would blow up again. And I've done that before with certain concepts. You don't think I'm the first person to put videos on Omegle, do you? I'm definitely a year and a half late to the Zoom party. Zoom started when quarantine hit last March. Mr. Beast has these exercises. I would love to talk to him and ask him about all the exercises he does, but he has exercises he does every day to think of ideas. And you see his channel, you see all the videos he makes, he's blowing up. You know, he understands himself. It's actually crazy the things you can accomplish if you assess yourself on a day-to-day basis. I treat my mind like it's like the king of this household. I constantly do things to where I can put my mind in positions to think of new ideas and to feel better and to work, because you have to assess yourself constantly if you want to keep growing on this platform. So I like to put myself in a situation where I challenge myself, set goals, do whatever I can to write things down. There's just many things you can do with exercises and all that to really challenge the way your mind develops. The last thing I want to say right now, the kind of juice, the little strategy that I use to grow, and I think it's pretty much a common thing now people are doing, is there is a format. If you're looking for the easy route to blow up, I wouldn't say this is the easy route because you obviously have to earn it. I'm one of the few people that get 100,000 plus off of doing this, but there is one little way that people love to make videos to grow, and it's pretty much just making reaction food. Now, I kept this for the end of the video because obviously this is the juice and this is the template I ran with my channel. I used to watch Your Age back in quarantine, and when I was thinking about how I wanted to revamp my channel after I quit 2K, I was just looking at other YouTubers, and one person that came to mind was PoloFi. Now, I don't know if you remember PoloFi, but PoloFi had a channel exactly the same size as mine, except he got all of his subs in the matter of 2 weeks from one video he made, and it was a hypothetical series bracket he did about how YouTubers would be if they were in a tournament. I'm not trying to discredit him at all or say that he doesn't deserve to grow as fast as he did or anything at all. I'm not trying to say that by any means, but what I am trying to highlight is that he made a video that became reaction food throughout the community and everybody reacted to. and it grew his channel as a result. You look at the channel Jubilee, they're kind of like social experiment. They take these people in rooms, they're like, oh, 6 kids decide who gets to walk out with the $1,000, or they do these debates where there's the 7 lines on a scale of agree to disagree, and they stand and they make videos that get 10-12 million views every video because they are perfect reaction channel food. There's certain channels that make videos where everybody wants to react to them, and when I made the Zoom trolling as YouTubers, my creative content that I made, I didn't intend for this to be this way, but I managed to put myself in the perfect position to become reaction channel food. For the month of March and April, every single reaction channel that was just looking for, oh, what's this random video I could react to today, because I don't really have any ideas. Oh, MattRadiant's doing good right now because he just did Zoom trolling as YouTubers. It's so creative. Maybe I'm in there too. Let's watch that. One thing you can do as a YouTuber is you can make reactable content. I like to call it reaction channel food. If you look at AMP videos are reacted to by many people. You know, my videos are reacted to by many people on stream. Making videos that are, you know, able to be reaction channel food is something that a lot of people are starting to capitalize on now. I'd like to say I'm the most successful person to run that template, which is kind of funny because, believe it or not, I swear on my life, I didn't intend to make my videos so that Aiden and Dante and Rage could watch them and then I could get mad subs from them reacting. I didn't think it was even possible for them to watch me. If Aiden didn't see my TikTok, nothing would have ever happened. But I did make a video that had bigger name creators in it that was still insanely creative. I was so proud of that video, and when they did see it, it was like the rest was history. Everybody began watching my videos every week, and I grew as a result. So as you can see right now, there's many creators out there that are kind of trying to do what I'm doing. They're running the same template. There's a few YouTubers in mind I can think of that are making videos. They do Zoom trolling as Twitch streamers, or they do the Tinder videos. I did one Tinder video and I quit doing those, but many other YouTubers now are doing Tinder videos as YouTubers, and they're getting a lot of growth off of it. I won't say any names. I'm not trying to put anybody on blast, because who would I be to say that other people are following my footsteps when I was essentially following other people's footsteps when I made my videos. If I never saw Luke's videos, I would have never wanted to have made the ones I made. And now after I have, you know, paved the way for people to make reaction channel food, many channels are making videos where they go on Omegle and they go for rates from other YouTubers, and then that YouTuber reacts to them, or they go on Zoom and they do Twitch streamers or celebrities. People are eventually going to do Zoom trolling as rappers. I know you guys have been asking me to do it, but eventually people are going to take certain concepts, twist them, do it themselves, and try and end up on Rage's, Dante's, Aiden's, and Not streams. So yeah, if you're looking for the most, you know, saying that you really just want to take advantage of the full situation, you could always make videos that people are going to react to. Some people have been doing it for years, like Majin Kart memes have been making meme compilations for Dante. The Your Age Try Not to Laugh dude has been making Trying to Laugh for Your Age. There's that Waffalo dude who makes funny videos that are just simple skits for Dante to react to and Rage and everybody. And they don't make these videos looking to just become famous off of them or grow. They just make videos for, you know, the streamers to react to and have good content to watch on stream. Now, as a YouTuber and a content creator, if you'd like to capitalize off of that opportunity, that's what you can do. You can make videos that streamers are going to react to. So that's why people now are making videos where they put Kai Cenat on Tinder, or Your Age on Tinder, or they put rappers and streamers on Zoom. They do even, people just do exactly what I do now, and they put Flight and EDP and other people on Zoom. You know what I'm saying? You can make videos that people are going to react to, and that's an easy way to get your channel just a boost start. Now, granted, I'd like to just say, out of everybody that does that little method, that little template, everybody who's had that similar experience to I have, I think I've done it the best. I don't think anybody's gained 100,000 subscribers off of just getting people to react to them. And I think it's pretty clear that I've gained a lot of subscribers on my own as well. I stopped doing Zoom trolling as YouTubers for a few months, made many creative videos myself. I did the kidnapping prank on Zoom, I did other videos, and a lot of other YouTubers I know we've already seen on stream, Rage and Dante and all of them, and Kai, they understand I'm well established. They understand, they've talked about on stream that I make my own content now, and I obviously deserve the growth I got from the first few videos I made that were about them primarily, because I know what I'm doing and I make really creative videos, and my grind is not like anybody else's. This whole video should show you that, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody, because I'm not. We all have our issues. I still have my issues with YouTube sometimes, but it's important that we analyze ourselves, and that's why we're here today. So that's pretty much, I don't think I have anything left to say for this video. Today's my 2-year anniversary. I have 101,000 subscribers, and I've learned a lot of things. Now, I could go over all the little stuff, but it's really not important. It's the mindsets and ideologies that you really need to take in. So if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. I'll be back next year Hopefully by then I have like 200, 300, 400, 500,000 subscribers. That would be really cool. But yeah, like I said, man, there's a lot of things that I've learned this year, and I think what people really need to understand is the ideologies and the habits and the little things that you could do in your life or just have knowledge of and understand is what's way more important than the things that you do. So to cut things short and end this video, let's say right now you're starting videos this year. Listen, you gotta understand why you're doing it, what you love about it. You gotta assess yourself, exercise your brain so you're constantly thinking of new ideas. You have to understand how you feel, understand why you like YouTube, understand what you don't like about YouTube. Understand that some days you're not gonna be motivated, but you gotta know how to get yourselves out of that slump. You gotta understand how to make content that people are gonna wanna see, how to capitalize on opportunities that come and go, find the new opportunities when the certain ones you're used to being there are not and they're lost. You gotta understand how to maintain watch time, how to keep people watching your videos, keep people interested in you, leave a fingerprint on every video you make so that people don't just sub to your channel for your content and not for you. Understand there's many different ways you can blow up. It can happen overnight, it can happen over 10 years. As long as you understand where you're getting to at the end of the day, you trust you're gonna get there no matter what, you'll be fine. You could blow up just from somebody watching your video on stream if you go with, the high route and try and pull someone's attention that's already up there, or you can just make videos and grow to the point where they watch you on their own terms. Whatever you want to do, just understand it. Assessing yourself is the most important thing, and this whole video is me assessing myself. You got to understand yourself before you can go crazy. You got to understand that it's like people in relationships saying you got to love yourself before you love somebody else. You need to understand the way you operate and how you're going to grow and succeed and why you're going to do so before you actually do it. Do a lot of thinking, take time to understand yourself, take time to develop new and good habits, keep all these mental and physical practices going so you know that one day you're going to succeed because of all the little things you do in life on and off the camera. And that's pretty much everything I've learned. I don't know how long this video is. I don't even know if anyone's going to watch it this far, but if you've made it this far in the video, comment MRG100K. Comment MRG100K if you made it this far in the video. You're obviously, you obviously want this more than other people do. You know what I'm saying? I can only give you guys so much, but if you've really taken in everything into your mind, I appreciate you and I hope the best for you. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you manage to get everything you're looking for with this YouTube shit. I hope I can help. Hopefully in 10 years from now, there's a new wave of creators that have come from watching my videos to being some of the most successful entertainers in the world, the way I am going up right now after watching all my favorite YouTubers, Solominati, Oprah Side, FaZe, Rain, I'm Dante, all these people go. You know what I'm saying? It's levels to everything. So yeah, man, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for 100K. Thank you for the 2 years on YouTube that have been mad fun. It's been Matt Radiant. Peace out, boys.
She'll change us just a bird of you. Fuck it up, take a pill, throw it up, suck it up. I can't do enough for you. I would hate for me to be in love with you. I hate that I mean nothing to you. I can't find a substitute. Yeah, I should've took a